I'm going to start working on modeling this Fallout 4 style, somewhat style of Fallout 4. I'm calling this just a wall computer. And this image here is a reference image that you can use if you want to. And it's available on the ZeroBio Patreon in the references collection. It's free. As long as you're a member, you can get it if you want it. It's not absolutely necessary, but I'll probably use it just to get some general dimensions of things. So the link will be in the description to ZeroBio Patreon, and you can grab that if you want. So I've got it set up. I've scaled it 4 times. I brought it in, I went S4, and I moved it back a little bit. My screencast keys are on over here, and we're going to try to do this thing here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in a plane and scale it up a bit. I'm going to rotate X90. And like I said, just sort of use this to get the general size of things. So let me have a look at that. Okay, these ones, I'm going to select these vertices and pull them up to about there. And it's pretty good. It's not exactly centered, but it's not bad. So we got that, right? Okay, what I'm going to do now, I think, is... let me see if I slide it over. Yeah, I think it's pretty much lined up. So I'm actually going to take this and rotate Z90. That didn't work. Why? RZ90. There we go. And bring it over here so we can do what we need to do. Let's see, do it there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop an edge loop right there. Control R. And I've still got it selected, so I'm going to bring it up. And I guess I'm going to drop another edge loop, Control R there, for the upper part of the curve. And what I'm going to do is just drag a rectangle around these and just pull it forward like that. And that's going to give us the basic shape of what we want. And really, we don't need actually that stuff in the middle, do we? So if I go X faces, I lost everything. Yeah, X only faces, and then I'm going to get rid of these edges here. Only edges and faces. Okay, good enough. We have that. So let's use that, and I'm in edit mode, right? So let's rotate Z minus 90 and bring it back to the orientation we want, and I'm going to slide it back to there, and I think that's going to be okay for what we want. Okay, I could have left it there actually. The more I think about it, it might be actually beneficial to do this. Okay, so with it still here, and make sure I'm in wireframe, I'm just adjusting. Okay, with that there, never mind. I'm going to select it all and I'm going to press E to extrude it. I'm going to pull it back to here. And then I'm going to straighten it here in the X by pressing SX0. And just getting it to there. Rotate Z minus 90. Maybe I'll bring it back here. And just line it up roughly. Okay, again, it's up to you. Anyways, I want to select there, and here, and here, and here. And I'll look from the front. And I'm going to Control B, pull. So that just splits it like that. I'm going to roll up now with my mouse wheel. 1, 2, 3, and just sort of match that curvature a little bit more. All right, so I've beveled it manually. That's locked in, but that's what we're going to go for anyhow. That's okay with me. All right. The next thing I'm going to do is give this some thickness. I'm going to press E and S and just pull it in. And it may not be perfectly, it looks pretty good, pretty even. But it may be flipped. It's looking a little dark. I guess it's all right. Okay, with that done, I realize that this edge, it's sort of on an angle. So I'm going to go around and straighten these. I'm going to press SZ0, straighten that out. Shift Alt and click that one, SZ0. Okay, so those are straight. It's nicer when they're straight. Okay, so now I'm going to Shift Alt and click these edges here. And I'm going to create a curve. And, you know, I can't see exactly but I'm just going to do something nice. Control B, pull, and I don't mind using the 5 and just get a nice smooth curve like that. Now, before we go any further, I'm going to Shift and Alt and click this part here, and Shift D to duplicate, pull it out, and P to break it out. I'm going to use this for the back. So I'll take this, and you know what? Let's make use of this. Let's slide it over here. Why not? Make sure we're in edit mode. There's a lot of vertices to get rid of, but we will RZ90. So just to get the right length, let's just go ahead and extrude it back. So we have this piece. Now, I do not need all these edges, so I'm going to, I can use the C for paint select, and press C again, select all those X, dissolve edges, don't just delete them, dissolve them. And is there anything else I need to get rid of? I don't think so. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to move it back, and I'm going to rotate Z90, doesn't matter which way. And I'm just going to line it up and pull it back. And just sort of leave it there for now. So it's got the same curve and everything. All right, so far so good. I want to bevel the edges of this thing here. So 2 for edge selection, Shift Alt and click, and Shift Alt and click. And we're going to bevel these edges just by eye. Control B, pull. But I don't think we need 5. I think we can get away with 3. And not too big. Something like that to smooth that out. Now if I take this in shade smooth, I may have some issues with it. What I'm really going to do, I'm going to slash key to focus on this piece. Let's see what I can get rid of. If I get rid of these back ones, I'm going to want to, I will get rid of those, but I'm going to want to Shift Alt and click here, and I'm going to press E and S and come in a little bit, which is almost what I had before, I guess. Yeah, that's fine. I'm just going to leave that there, and I'm going to Shift Alt and click here and bevel this, and you'll see that that helps to clear up some of the shading. Slash key, and it's also, you know, going to form a better join on this one. Let's recalculate outside. You know, so it looks a little nicer. Okay, so where are we at? Okay, so we can do, maybe we'll do that in that thing there. So let's see. I'm just going to drop an edge loop and pull it down. Actually, we'll do it on both sides. You can mirror this, but I'm just going to drop an edge loop, Control R on both sides, and then pull it down. And just have a look at, this is quite far down near this edge, but we don't want to interfere with that edge though. Somewhere around there. And this thing still may not be lined up perfectly. We'll deal with that in a bit. Control B, pull. I just want 2, so roll back to 2 horizontal edges. Do that. E and Alt S and pull to pull it in a little ways. Okay. Slash key to focus on that. We have to get rid of some faces. This face and this one. Okay, and on the other side, same thing. This one and this one. And now I can select this edge and this edge. And on the other side, we'll give it a little bevel. Those 2 there, and Control B and pull. There's 2, roll up to have 3. And if you really want, you can go inside here. You can mark sharp, or you can drop edges. I'm going to drop an edge loop there and Control B, roll back to just have 2, just to make sure that that's pushed out and nice and clear. What I will do is make sure the cavity shader is on in a minute. It might not be, and that'll help with how it looks. So just like that. So let's do that. Let's, yeah, no, it wasn't on. So now we can see that edge a bit better. And let's see what we're doing. And there may be some shading issues that will have to get resolved, so that's okay. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, I'm going to leave that for now. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is let's work on the top piece here, that thing there. Okay, so to do that, let's take this face here. This is perfect. So let's Shift D to duplicate it, S to scale. Do it something like that. I'm going to pull it up out of the way and P to break it out. I just want to look at how it doesn't go quite maybe that far. It's up to you how you do it. Scale in the X a tiny bit. That's going to be fine. So it's hovering up above, so I'm going to give this a bit of thickness. So I'm just going to extrude downwards. Just maybe that much. X faces, we'll get rid of that bottom face. Select this edge, so I switch to edge selection, that one, this one, and this one, and let's bevel those. Control B. There's 2. I can probably get away with just 3. Shift Alt and click that edge along the top. Bevel it with 3. Shading's better. May not be perfect yet. Pull that down so it's somewhat embedded. And just double check that things aren't facing the wrong way, which they are. Alt N, recalculate outside. I'm not going to worry about this right yet. And then we want to make these things that are sticking up, and then we'll do some bolts. I mean, a lot of this stuff, the bolts and stuff, you know, you would do in texture, and even probably this stuff. But that's for the game industry, not for us. So I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to select an edge. Shift D to duplicate, pull it out, scale it down a bit, pull it up, and P to break it out. So I've got that piece there. I'm going to extrude it out a little bit like this. And then let's see where we're at. I'm going to actually press G and move it. And I mean, it's up to you if you want to use the reference image or not. You don't have to. I'm going to extrude up, go to wireframe, and I'm going to scale in the X to taper it in. But I'm going to press period key to focus. I'm also going to scale in the Y like that. And then I'm going to come back in edge selection and Shift Alt and click these edges here. Control B to bevel with 3. Shift Alt and click there and there. Bevel that, make it somewhat smooth. Let's take this and pull it up. Oops, I moved it out of the way. And come in here in 3 and get rid of that face and then pull it back down here. So I've got that. So now let's set the origin of geometry on that. Okay, so now I'm going to add an array, and I'm going to go for 5. My 3D cursor should be in the middle, so I can pull these out and have the middle one there of the 5, the odd one, the third one. Do that. Let's see how close we are. I think we're pretty close. The only thing is this. Yeah, I'm going to leave it like that if it's not the same size exactly. So let's come here though and bring my 3D cursor there. And let's start making a bolt. And I'm always hesitant to do this because I know that I should do this in texture. But seeing as not everyone has Substance Painter, and I may not texture it in Substance Painter anyhow, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to do F to make a face, E to extrude. It's going to be real simple. Bring that down, Alt N, recalculate outside, and select and bevel with the 3, and we'll shade smooth and push it down, and just move it like that. And maybe we'll with that one, maybe we'll add a mirror in the X and in the Z, but I'll have to set the origin of the 3D cursor. Sorry, not the Z, the Y. And I think I will take these and apply that and join that, and take these and apply this and join that. I'm going to come in here and recalculate outside. And do I have the shadow on? Yeah, I think I'm going to, no, I don't. I just have some, oh, the shadow's in the reference image. Okay, so let's just double check that we've got element selected, whatever. Yeah, okay, they're all blue, so that's good. All right, so yeah, I can add a normal's weighted normal, and that will help with the shading. So I'll leave it like that for the moment. And let's save and move on and do maybe this thing here. So the way I've got this is I put a little panel on the side. So I'm going to come in here and select that and Shift D to duplicate and scale it. And I'm just going to look at this. So it goes, in my case, it goes pretty far out, but not as high. Scale it in the Z. But I don't want it to be a square. I'm just going to scale it down. I'm going to do something like that, maybe. I don't know. Something like that. Okay, I'm going to pull it out and I'm going to break it out. And I can either round it now or round it later. Maybe I'll round it now. So I'm going to select the vertices like that and Shift Control B and pull. And with 3, just give it some rounding. Extrude back. Get rid of that back face. Select that top face and bevel with 3. And then push it in. And that will get mirrored over to the other side. Okay, don't worry about the shading. And I do seem to have some bolts on there, so maybe we'll steal one of these. This is not the best looking bolt. You know, we can do better, but I think we're okay. If you want to put more detail into it, you can. I'm just going to go with this for now, so I'm going to take that one, P to break it out, take this and rotate Y 90, and press 3 to look from the side, G to drag or go or whatever, and then put it there, and then push it on, period key maybe to zoom in, it's embedded, 3, and because this is not joined, we could take this, select it all, Shift S, cursor to selected, and then take this and set the origin to the 3D cursor, and then we can use the mirror on this, generate a mirror. This one is in the Y and in the Z, so we could have those there. I just want to double check this. Yeah, I knew something was off. Okay, recalculate outside, that's good. So I might just go ahead and apply the mirror and join that together so we don't run into any trouble later. 3D cursor is right in the middle, and so I want to build this thing. So what have I got? How did I build that? Probably going to use a plane, so I'm going to go ahead and bring in a plane and scale it down a bit. I may look from the front, and I'm going to rotate X 90, and it may not be perfectly the same size. I see. I'm going to scale it in the Z a little bit and get it a bit closer. I'm going to take this edge and pull it up so it's just above my plane, and this one I'm just going to scale. And let's see, maybe I can scale the whole thing in the Z, use a bit more of the space, and yeah, we'll go with that anyhow. Pull that up, and let's extrude backwards like that. And let's see, do I want to just pull that in maybe? Is that gonna look good? No, that's gonna bend that, so I'm not gonna do it that way. Maybe I'm going to take these and we'll pull them sort of in a little bit. That pushes it that way, but I can straighten that out. Nah, I don't even know if I want to do that. I think what I'll do is we'll take this and we'll create this narrowing. So I'm just going to scale it in the Z like that. And do I need to pinch it any other way? Down a little bit? I could do a little bit. Maybe what we'll do is we'll select this edge and just push it down a little, nothing too extreme. Okay, so let's just focus on that, and let's see. So maybe we'll go into edit mode and maybe we'll just start beveling. Maybe I'll take those two. Let's start with that. Control B. Probably get away with just the 3 of them. And we'll take this one and this one. And we'll bevel that. You know, so we're getting this roundness. And we're going to have to do the back as well. I kind of want it rounder than that, although that's going to be pushed up against. So I'm going to back up and actually take all of them. And I may use 5. I know it's insane, but, you know, we're doing it anyhow. Just, you know, to get a nicer kind of a curve. I think that's okay. So let's select that face and press I to inset. Pull that down. Just be careful you don't cross the vertices. Like you see, I did it here. So let's E and S instead, and then maybe scale in the X, and just try to get it kind of equal. Let's scale in the Z. That's all right. And I'm just going to push that in a little ways like that. Now we'll come out and 2 for edge selection, Shift Alt and click this and this. I don't think I need 5 here, so I'm just going to pull. I'm going to roll back to 2, 3 ought to do it. All right, that looks okay, but let's not forget the back. So just select that face actually. Control B. I can just use 3 on the back. You're not going to see it very much. I'll take this all shade smooth, but we'll have a problem here. So we could just take this and just press I to inset. Pull it in a little bit. Just be careful you don't cross vertices again. And that should be good enough. Let's slash key and have a look at this. And yeah, we're off the diagram. See, I got even more of a curve, and I liked that. Let's see what it looks like though with a more triangular sort of look. And in fact, I think I'm going to take it and scale it in the Z a little bit. Yeah, I'm a little disappointed. I kind of would have liked that, but on the other hand, maybe it looks good like this. Let's just see. Yeah, it felt like something was backwards. Okay, so let's do that. And I can get rid of back faces, but if I don't bother with it this time, maybe I can just join those together and start thinking about, I'm going to press Shift C to bring my 3D cursor right back to the middle. Just start thinking about mirroring and seeing what it looks like. Let's just hide that for the moment. Pretend this is all we have. Yeah, the shading's a bit weird. I can always do this, but I'm going to join some stuff together later, so I don't know. Does that look okay instead of the more roundedness? You could do them separate. You could just do a really big bevel on this and be even rounder. But maybe it's okay. I don't know. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to select this face and Shift S, cursor to selected. And I'm going to start making a couple of knobs. And I debated if I'm going to use a subdivision surface or not on this, and I might. But for now, I switched it to 20, rotate X 90. And I'm going to have 2, so I just want to make sure they're going to fit. And what I'll do is I'm going to extrude forward and scale like that. E and S come in like that. E come back. Maybe scale in a little bit. Get focused on there. E and S come in like this, maybe even more. E and come out a little bit, and just F to make a face. Did I come out crooked? I think I did. Okay, F to make a face. 3 for face selection. We're going to bevel. Control B. We're not done, but I want 3. I'm going to bevel here and here. I'm going to bevel here and here. And then we're going to work on the back. And to do this, I think I'm going to come back a little bit straight, and then E and S and come in and make like the post. I'm going to do the post off of here. And then I want to bevel this. And I'm now thinking I'm going to dissolve that edge and not use it, because I'm going to Control R and Control B and roll back to 2 and put some delineating edges here about there. So I want to do something in here, but I don't want it to go past. And what I'm going to do is press 3 for face selection, Shift Alt and click there. I've got all the faces selected, but I'm going to come up to select and check or deselect. That'll get every other one, and you see it only goes up to there and there. And then I'm going to press I to inset, hold Shift and pull. Oh, I wasn't in the right place. I to inset, Shift and pull. And then you can either have them come in or go out. I'm going to press E and Alt S and C. That brings them in. So I'm going to pull. I'm going to have them come out a little ways like that. And let's just see with shade smooth. Okay, it's not looking good yet. Let's see if I put a bevel on it, what it's like. Nah, it's boring, isn't it? All right, let's try Control 1. Come in here, drop an edge loop, Control B, in which case it might have looked better if they were coming out. But that's basically what I'm going for. Okay, and then you can decide if you really like this. Maybe you want to do something else and scale it or something, and it might look better. I don't know. But at any rate, I'm going to push that in. Look from the front. Maybe I'll scale as big as I can get it. Shift D to duplicate. I can make them bigger if I need to. So I'll take both of those. I'm going to switch to individual origins. That way I can scale them both like that. And I think I need to scale them in the Y. I don't think they stick out that much. But I'm going to do it like that. Let's go back though to median point. So these now have a subdivision surface, which makes it harder to join to that unless I apply it, and I don't really feel ready to do that. So I'm just going to Shift C, and for these I'm going to set the origin to the 3D cursor and mirror them. And we'll have to come back. What am I doing? Generate mirror. We'll have to decide on what to do about those later, I suppose. I know I'm not going to get this all done. Let's bring that back. But we're just going to do as much as we can this time. So down at the top, I've got that thing. I've got the split. As far as the screens, we're not constantly looking through. It looks unfinished. I was thinking we'd take this edge, Shift D to duplicate, pull it out, P to break it out. Now we have all kinds of extra, where is it? One. Vertices we don't need. We just need the vertices in the curve. If I take these and X, dissolve vertices, and F to make a face, we'd have a flat screen if I pull that in. It's probably flipped. Yeah, it is. And so are those knobs. So Alt-N, flip. And for the knobs, it's Alt-N, recalculate outside. Okay, that's a pretty good start, I think. Just to show you, if we add the weighted normals, that could clear that up. And if we put on this a shadow and come over to something, let's first of all start with that so we can check out our shading, which looks pretty good. It's a good idea to use a shiny matte cap. We'll have to do something in there. But that's what we have so far. I think that's a pretty good start. So we'll come back and then we'll do more of this in part 2 because I don't want to keep you for too long. So if you're doing this, hopefully you can get to that point. If I had to do this again, I would make this rounded, more rounded, all of this. I think that will be an improvement because this is very rounded. But it's not bad to have different types of shapes in there as well. All right, so good luck, and we'll see you in part 2.